You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the February 28th meeting of the LaPorte County Convention and Visitors Bureau Board of Managers. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, we're going to call to order the February 28th, 2023 meeting for the Board of Managers of the LaPorte County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Let's begin with roll call, please.
Becky Greenlaw. Here. Pat Harris.
Here.
Corinne Myers. Stacy Benning. Here. Martha King. Adam Konishny.
Here.
Laura Krentz. Here. Mike Seitz.
Present.
Doug Waters.
Here.
Thank you for that. Do we have any public comments at this time? Hearing none, we'll move right into the reading and approval of our January 24th, 2023 minutes. All of you received those in your email packages, and I'll ask for a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion by Mike Seitz and a second by Stacy Benning. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have roll call approval.
The motion has been made to pass the minutes of January 2023. Although, please signify your A or nay verbally. Doug Waters.
Aye.
Mike Seitz.
Aye.
Laura Krantz.
Aye.
Adam Konishny.
Aye.
Stacy Benning.
Aye.
Pat Harris.
Aye.
Becky Greenlaw.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, for this month's report, basically I just want to update you on the progress we've made as far as establishing a committee for our funds that we have in reserve and what we want to do with those. And the committee will be Becky Greenlaw, Doug Waters, and myself. And we're going to be meeting with a couple different investment people in the community that are professionals and experts at this kind of stuff so that we get it right. And we'll be keeping you updated on our progress. And I'll give a little brief report when we get down to the FMEC part of the agenda. So with that, we'll just move right into we want to do a special appointment for our legislative position that we have. We have some items coming up that's going to be on the agenda for this year, and I want to appoint Mike Seitz in that capacity. He's served in it before, and he's been excellent at researching and keeping us up to date on those items and those bills that are down in the legislature that we should be aware of so that we can act appropriately in resolving any issues or having some input as to what's going to happen. So Mike has graciously accepted the appointment, and we thank him for that. Just as a matter of record, I'd like to have my appointment approved. So I will ask for a roll call vote for your approval of Mike Seitz as appointment to the legislative liaison position.
Nelson's not here, but I think you might have to get a motion, probably. Maybe you need a motion, maybe?
That's what I said.
Okay, yeah, I'll just ask you that.
Yeah. I just did. I just asked for a motion.
Motion to...
I'd like to make a motion to accept Mike Seitz as the legislative liaison.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Becky Greenlaw.
Aye.
Yes.
Pat Harris.
Aye.
Right, I wouldn't have paid attention.
Stacy Benning.
Aye.
Adam Konishny.
Aye.
Laura Krantz.
Aye.
Mike Seitz.
Aye.
And Doug Waters.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, again, thank you, Mike. Now we'll have our treasurer's report.
Okay. So for January 2023, we had total accounts payable of $20,279.13. total payroll of $43,531.68 for a grand total of $63,810.81. And I also have the January statement of financial position, the corresponding reconciliation, and profit and loss budget sheets for your review.
Okay, thank you. So I need a motion for approval of our financial report as presented by our treasurer.
I so move.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Laura Krenz and a second by Doug Waters. Can we have the roll call, please?
Adam Konechny,
Aye.
Laura Krenz,
Aye.
Mike Sykes,
Aye.
Doug Waters,
Aye.
Stacy Benning,
Aye.
Pat Harris,
Aye.
Becky Greenlaw.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
All right, moving right along. That brings us to our wonderful report that's going to be given by our CEO.
Can't wait. All right, yeah, a fairly short, succinct meeting today as far as the business side goes, and even the reporting. A couple of our event directors aren't here today, and so that we'll be moving through that. Just from a management side, operation and finances, I did lay out a plan to the staff to clean up the front, the visitor center a little bit. We're going to move the train station out. It's been here for a long time. Not the actual the steam the what do you call the front of the train? The big train, but the actual track and all that's going to go out. Yeah, what do you call it? Is that what you say? Yeah, that was. Engine. There we go. The steam engine itself, I believe, is going to stay, but the rest of it's going to come out. But we're looking to probably do new carpet in here. This stuff's time. It's time. You know, we've been through a couple internal floods and a lot of foot traffic and a lot of stuff, and it's time to clean this up a little bit.
It's never been replaced since you've been here?
No, we've had it cleaned several times.
Where's the trains gonna go?
Well, that belongs to Heston.
Oh,
Yeah, we have to have them come and disassemble, take it apart.
Yeah.
And we're kind of he knows it. He's on a schedule.
Cool.
Yeah. So as you know, we're probably not going to, or not probably, and unless the board decides we need to talk about this, we're not. It's not in our near plans at all to reopen the sales shop that we had, that we closed down. And so up until this morning, that was going to be Dale's new office. And she was so excited, and she was just a gleam at the chance to move. It was my idea, put her in a, because she's a curator, right? She can look out and see what's going on. That's her baby out there. But she also had another assignment that she fell through this morning, so that's going to cost her. She made that, yeah, I'll just leave it at that for now, but I asked her very nicely a few weeks ago, make sure you got donuts and stuff here for the board. And I walked in and there's no doggone donuts. So you gotta have. But anyway,
I'm glad you have your priorities in mind.
Those were for the board now, mind you, not me. It was Duncan too. Duncan's been a real good partner over here. They're doing. So, but anyway, it is exciting to get that freshen that up out there and do some things. So that's on the Unite. And again, some of it may not even happen this year because we didn't budget for that carpet, and that's going to be a pretty expensive deal. And so unless we can sneak it in a line item, we'll do it late in the year and build some over to next year or something like that because we didn't budget it. But anyway, that's in the works. So I wanted to mention that. This last few weeks, we've had some movement with the city with regards to how we set our insurance for the block party and the boat parade. As you know, we got that kind of fell in our lap last year when Main Street decided they didn't want to continue doing it, and we jumped in at the last second, and we did. And so we're doing it again. It's going to be just a simple block party like last year and a boat parade. It wasn't very simple. It was a great success, but the simple part comes in. We're not doing the Taste of Michigan City along with it because we don't own that. We don't have rights for that. We talked with the Main Street group a little bit about that, about maybe purchasing that from them, but it didn't work out, and so that's fine. You know, and we're very happy to do the block party and the boat parade just like we did last year. Same format, and we've already got the same folks lined up to run everything, and so that's going well. But the point I wanted to highlight was last year we got, because short notice, and we were working under the gun a little bit. Insurance-wise, it cost us, the CVB, a lot to step up and help the city out and fill in for the Main Street to do that. But, you know, one of those deals. You got to step up and do what you got to do, right? But this year we've had time to get out front on that. And so I'm pretty comfortable that the insurance questions and the cause for us to have to pay extra money has probably been taken care of for next year. I think we're going to be in a good spot here. Save us a little money on the insurance is the way it's going, which it should be. So to that point, Rick's going to appear before the park board a week from today. And our race contract will be formally approved. They've already got it blocked. The date's blocked on the calendar, but it'll be formally approved, and then we'll be able to nail down all these exact dollar amounts on the umbrella coverage and on the alcohol coverage and on the vendor coverage and all that once we see the contract from the park department next week. So that's all. It's all going in the right direction. We had a meeting earlier this week with a potential title sponsor for the race. I got on the call, first 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. I thought this is not going to work. Yeah, you can just get that feeling, right? You know, I just wasn't going to work. I just didn't get a good feeling. But the longer we talked, now Katie's laughing because she was on the call, and it's just. Let's just trust us, you know. We had a reason to think that. Okay, sure. And, but the longer we talked, it got really to a good point. And he actually, the folks we're dealing with, they actually gave us some really good ideas, long term, not just a 1 year. And so we're reworking that and putting that together. So that would be nice if we're able to pull that off this early. And the problem is getting, you know, if I'm a title sponsor, I'd want to be in January because they're losing ground right now. They just got print deadlines coming up next week, and you know, if they're not in, they're going to miss those print deadlines, and you know, you miss stuff, billboards and stuff like that. And so you know, we're trying to emphasize that. But last year's title sponsor missed all of that because they came in late. But this guy, I think, is smart enough to understand that, and we'll see. He's a very nice guy and a very interesting guy, and I think it could be a nice long-term relationship.
Jack, whenever you say very interesting, you know, it kind of sends up.
Well, like I said, at the beginning of the call, I was getting ready to do a little dual work while they talked to him. I was going to work on something else while we were on a Zoom meeting because I saw this wasn't going anywhere. You know, oh boy! But no, it was a great call, and you know that's how it is. You learn something all the time with folks, and that was a good deal. So. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't bail sooner than early in that discussion. So, after today's meeting, this meeting, I get a chance to introduce the CVB director from St. Joe County to our staff. He's coming over. They have a new director over there, and he'll be here. I've never met him either. We've talked on the phone a couple times. They're currently. His organization did not rejoin our regional group, and I mean he's new, so we're getting him acclimated to the whole regional thing.
That was his decision. That was
no, he inherited that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where's he from, Jack?
He his last job was with the AAU at a high level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe out of Atlanta, maybe.
Yeah.
I have to go, it's been a while since I looked at this thing. So how we met was, I think, I mentioned to you all that because of that iGaming bill that was out there, that's not going anywhere. I decided to head up a committee for the state on gaming because nobody was doing that in the 11 counties that have gaming. And so I started sending out emails to the counties that have gaming. Well, Jeff responded from St. Joe County, but their gaming's different. They have Indian gaming. So it's not affected by legislation that we would do.
Right.
But then that was his message. He said, hey, Jack, love to be part of your group. Is it all right if I participate? But I really can't participate to the level of everybody else because we're not covered under your legislative guidelines. And but I said absolutely. So we kept him in a group, and then I opened the door for him to come and meet. And so he's coming over. And then to that end, we are taking him and Dave, the new director from South Shore, Lake County, out next week, I believe it is, next week, to visit the toll road, to visit a couple of our travel centers. So
That's sort of an interesting relationship between with their CVB. It's totally different than ours, but they're affiliated with their chamber, and the CVB guy always used to report directly to the chamber. It was sort of a partnership. So
You're talking St. Joe County.
St. Joe County.
Right.
That's an excellent point, my guy. Some of you may recall this, but just to kind of refresh, out of all the 92 counties, there's about 5 different models out there for CVBs. I think about 60 of them are part of the mainstream, which means they're part of county government, like Porter County, which they literally report to the county council, and so forth. Then there's another 20 or so of us that are either individual, like we are, stand alone, literally one county, or a couple that are multiple. St. Joe happens to be one that's in with a couple other counties that puts them under guidance of the chamber, literally, as Mike pointed out. So decisions are made there differently. There's not a board like this. They have 2 other different boards. One of them's called the tax board, and then the chamber board, I'm sure they have to report to, I would guess.
Oh, definitely.
So it's a different structure. This is one of the few boards in the state that is an independent board that deals just with us, and let's us move forward. It's the best one, believe me. We're lucky. We're real lucky to have the legislation that we have that lets it happen this way.
and that's true because the history goes back to there's been some conflict between the chamber and the CVB. I can remember when I was vice president of the South Bend Chamber, they had. It was really funny because the chamber voted policy-wise not to have gaming in St. Joe County, but behind the scenes, the CVB was negotiating with the Pokagon Indians behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it got leaked out, and it was pretty. The executive director of the CVB got fired, but that's interesting.
Yeah, the whole dynamic is different, and your question is a good one, and it needed some explaining. So I'm glad Mike touched on that. Sometimes I take for granted, these guys know all that. That's something they do every day, right? That's not. So that's a good point. So last thing I have under Operation Finances is you'll see, and Pat will remind you all at the bottom of your agenda, we're going to have our March meeting at Blue Chip, a breakfast meeting. And at this point, we don't have anything on the agenda except the meeting, but I am going to enhance the speakers. We're going to definitely highlight all 3 of the event directors for sure. I've already talked to them, already got them calendared up, and probably going to invite the 3 entities, the mayor, and commissioners to come and hear those reports. May not be a program beyond that, but they can sit through the meeting if they want. It's kind of nice just to update them and have their own people people, doing that.
I would just say, and we'll, since we're talking about it now, I'll just go ahead and cover it, to plan for like an hour and a half. It will be a little bit.
I'll tell the board, a little longer, yeah.
Yeah, it may, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of eating. Just kidding.
Breakfast and lunch.
Just
That's a
kidding.
good point, though.
No, because of the extra speakers and that we're gonna have, so.
Yeah, and I think the way we did it last time, Pat, let you all come in about 8 and
Yes.
start serving. Does that sound good to everybody for that? And maybe you guys can get it out of the way before we start, before you have to gavel
That's
out.
how we did it.
Okay, good. That's what I'll tell Angie then. So, and the plan is, if Katie wants her next raise, is to have our new sponsor to
In
come
place.
and either announce it or at least, I would like to invite him to come and meet everybody. But, so Katie's got some incentive there, I think, to make that happen. We'll see. I hope you don't land where Dale landed today. I'll tell you that.
Where's Dale?
That's the question. Dale and our donuts are gone. Now so,
Wait till she sees this, she'll be like,
oh, yeah, she'll replay this several times in sleep, I'm sure. So, with that, Pat, let's see, I think I'll move into Linda's report.
Yeah, thank you, and, anyway, she has a long ride from where she lives. too,
She's
so
a
she
big
could have
girl,
flat
she doesn't need any
tire.
help here.
Okay, oh, darn. Anyway, at least for Blue Chip, we know we'll
you have donuts.
get there. No, more than donuts.
Yeah.
So, okay, good morning, board. First of all, we're going into March tomorrow, and our first quarter has been extremely busy here at the CVB amongst projects and Katie trying to get our title sponsor locked in. No pressure, Katie. But so it's been busy, and this is just first quarter. Tomorrow we have a meeting with the group for the Semi-State that's going to be here in Michigan City in March. And this will be just like a final follow-up meeting that just going over some things. We have, I think, 150 welcome bags that we put together, not only with the visitor guides, but we've got dining guides. We're using Microtel and I think Country Inn and Suites, close proximity to the school. And just wrapping it up, Dr. Eason Watkins was on the radio last week and at our EDC board meeting and just gave kudos to the CVB for helping just kind of help with the group as far as, we're getting the state coming in, her athletic director. So it should be a really good meeting, and then just finalizing everything for the big day next month. Also, Rick and I are getting together. We just spoke a little bit. We're members of Team Indiana, which is sports affiliation. And they have sent us out some information on some potential grants that are available that we're going to look into and see what we need to do to jump on board and see if it's a fit for us. But with our membership, it also gets us up on their website. So we're working with them on that. And so hopefully we'll have maybe a report for everybody on that. Next month, we have our ITA conference, Indiana Tourism Association conference. It'll be in Elkhart, so we're real pleased. That's not a long drive for us this year. And have a lot of good things. I've seen the agenda and a lot of good speakers. There's someone actually there, I saw Amy when I was looking, someone's talking about innkeeper's tax, which is right up your lane. And then a lot of the speakers, 26 Digital, who we've worked with several years ago, Dave Servino, who's the owner, will also be there. So it's a good opportunity to just hear some things that are new in our industry and so on. And then obviously that Tuesday evening is the awards. So we've submitted 2 events, 1 event and 1 visitor guide. So hopefully between the 2, we will come back with an award. If not, I will not be at the March meeting.
Good for you.
Okay. And then, and then a couple weeks ago, myself, Chelsea, and Scott Miller went over to Lighthouse Place Premium Outlets to meet with Chris Jerisic and her new product development gentleman, Christian, and had a good meeting with them, got some updates on what's happening out at the outlet, and that they do have some openings available for any small businesses that would come in. The other thing, Chris was gracious enough, because their visitor center isn't open anymore, is we were able to take one of our blue box that we keep our visitor guides in for outside. And so we've placed that on the back side of the visitor center, so as people are leaving the mall, you'll see those. And so we'll keep those full. And they also did a listing in our visitor guide for this year. We've had a lot of other discussions on up and coming. They're doing some work on the property, asphalt, roofing, fascia, and so on. So they're trying to perk up the look. But there was rumors out there for a while that Simon, our outlet, was leaving, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And she was very adamant in letting us know that everything was good and strong, and just needs some more stores in there. I did find out just a couple days ago that one of those spots, they're probably down to 13 now, there's a spa that just opened out at the outlet. So I think they're going to be opening next week and so on, so we'll be interested to see where that, I don't know the location out there yet, but something new. I don't think we've ever had one out at the outlet mall, so we'll see how that all goes. And then, but once again, Chris and I will be getting together for another meeting on a different note, and hopefully it'll be a positive, something that I'll be able to bring back to the board in a couple months. Like I said, Amy and I have been dual, but she's been pretty much taking the lead on a couple things, so I'm gonna let her do that. But other than that, we're just wrapping up, like Jack said, a lot of deadlines coming up, especially with the Indiana Toll Road Visitor Guide. So that comes out in April, so we're just getting a fresh look for us for the 2 exits, and we also purchased the inside back cover, so that's ours, and usually we focus on the boat race for that. So we're anxious to get that going, and then I think everything else I'm gonna let Amy kind of pick up with doing the media and so on with the website, and that takes care of what
Awesome, good deal, thanks, good. Yeah, Linda's correct, that we roll into Amy, and before Amy jumps up, I do have something to kind of lead off with regard to our head and bed committee. You might recall last month, Angie was here from Blue Chip, and we talked about the Nucor group that was here, that we were helping shuttle around. It was a 800 person event, room wise, and they couldn't get them all in the Blue Chip, 800 rooms, so we had to put them at 4 different hotels and shuttle them all over the city. Well, typically in those events, they don't always go like you want them to, right? And but Rick headed this up for us and did a great job. Our staff was all on call and working. We had people at the 4 outlying hotels greeting people when they got here. We had folks at Blue Chip greeting people when they got there, and then we had buses running. Well, wouldn't you know it, one of the buses broke down, and right in the middle of everything. And before I could get to a solution, and I got the call on a Friday night saying, "Hey, we got a problem," our staff had jumped up, come and got the 15 passenger, come and got one of our vehicles, and we took care of it. Typical Chelsea, Scott, Rick, all of you that were involved in that Friday, that particular night. But I just wanted to let you all know how our staff reacts and stuff like that.
Those are the kind of the things the board likes to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And this Nucor group that we were scratching to please is a big deal. They're wanting to come back. They're a middle company for exchanging nuts and bolts, literally, but they do really well in what they do. They're very smart, and they want to grow in the Midwest. And so it was. We knew that coming in, so we rolled out the red carpet. But we got a chance to impress them even more with the fact that when the bus that they hired broke down, and we jumped in and saved them. So I just want to say that. So that's what they do on the Heads in Bed. So I have asked Amy to do a couple things in Heads in Bed. She'll tell you about it, as Linda inferred, so to moving forward. So you got the floor, Amy.
Okay, well, first of all, I was going to tell you guys about Indiana Foodways. This is something we've been working on for a while and we're really excited about. we purchased a membership with Indiana Foodways Alliance. They're a marketing organization that promotes locally owned restaurants, and they promote them through digital culinary trails, so 21 culinary trails. So through that membership, we were able to pick 10 restaurants. Restaurants, I'll give those to you now. And those are based on the trails that they have, and also we have 5 in LaPorte and 5 in Michigan City. So we have Bare Bones, Downtown Delights, Aldamo's Villa, Bistro on Greens, Toria Enzo, William B's, Carlson's, Patrick's Grill, Shoreline Brewery, and Shady Creek Winery. So through this process, these restaurants will be promoted on Indiana Foodways Alliance website, Visit Indiana's website, and also the Mango app, which I don't know if you guys have heard of that app. So it's a really fun tool. It allows visitors to come in and they'll be able to check in anywhere. This is throughout the whole state, this Mango app. So they'll be able to go through these culinary trails through LaPorte County, all the different counties throughout the state, check in, and then they can earn rewards. So there's a fun gamification to the whole process. They had a pie thing going. They earned, I don't know, some kind of fun socks. I can't remember what the socks said. Do you remember, Linda?
I think they had the, either the Indiana Foodways or the In Indiana.
They had some fun pies thing on them, and they had like little pies all over them. So yeah, so just a fun, like I said, gamification to it as well. And then a part of this process, Lindsay Skeen, she's the executive director of Indiana Foodways. She visited a couple of weeks ago. This is the restaurants, and we got to tag along with, and we had a great time. It was really fun. We met with the owners, the restaurant owners and managers, and then also got to have tastings at each one. So we were very full.
I bet you enjoyed that.
You know, board members are open to tagging along too, you know.
Yes.
For the record, I didn't go, just so you guys know.
It was fun though. We were excited about it. So anyway, she's finalizing that process, so they'll be up on those different websites soon. And they also do blogs and newsletters, and there's just a lot of promotion that goes into it. We think we'll really get a lot of bang for our buck on this one. So excited about that. As far as hotel committee promotions, we're working on finalizing 2 ads in the Toll Road Visitors Guide. We've got their lodging ads, one for LaPorte exit and one for Michigan City exit. So those will be done soon. And then we're also working with NITDC on the toll road plazas have display, digital display boards. So we'll have our hotels listed there as well. So again, good promotion. Linda mentioned Doolin, so we met with Adam and his team last week, Monday. We got to see the initial, so we're on the initial phases of the website here. We got to see the design, and we were really excited about it. So we're working through that process. They're waiting on me now. I've got pictures. So if anybody has some great pictures, anything in LaPorte County, send my way. So we're working on that, and we're hoping to go live in April on that. So. And then as far as the hotel committee, we have, specifically, we have a meeting on March 16th. We'll be planning some visits coming up in April again, as we like to get out and visit. As far as that goes, we're gathering all the sports, youth sports information as far as all the tournaments and things going on, Notre Dame and NSA, BPA, and all that. So we'll be giving that information to them as it's very helpful for them in their planning processes. Anything else on the hotel?
Yeah, we met with Carl.
Oh yeah, we met with Carl from NSA BPA, and again, he gave us the schedule of what's going on. A lot of great conversation we had with him. He's a great partner. He runs the Patriot Park, tournaments at Patriot Park. So that's basically it. We got a lot on our plate, honestly, so we're just gonna keep moving forward, and yeah, I'm excited about it. It's gonna be a good year.
Yeah, I literally, I'm not embellishing this, this is a fact. I literally had to send the staff an email the other day and say, slow down. We only got so much money, and we only got so, I did. I mean, and Linda's in here this morning giving me all kinds of excuses why we need to do this new thing she's coming up with here. She had talked about it. And I said, wait a minute, we got to just slow down a little bit. These guys are killing us. So, but no, they're doing a great job. I say that in a good way.
Yeah.
But at some
I'm not getting this slow down thing, but okay.
No, I'm gonna tell you, at some point, you only got so many people, and you only got so many dollars. Okay, and so you gotta but they're doing such a great job. So the other two things we're doing under heads and beds is I've asked Amy to work on our inventory numbers. They're old. Find out exactly how many beds we have in both categories, in under roof and third-party rentals, and we're asking for a resolution in LaPorte, City of LaPorte, for so they can help do what Michigan City did, do a registry, so we can count the third-party rentals, because there's no other way to do that. That's a real moving target. It's tough, but it's hard to plan unless you know those kind of numbers. So
And that helps with also determining a strategy for getting more hotels maybe to.
how you gonna market it? Yeah, the whole marketing scheme is.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that's another key part of it.
You're absolutely right. Michigan City event director's not here, so substitute Rick. Is anything you want to update on a race, on the youth sports stuff?
Basically, we're at that time where it's pre-planning on everything, As far as the race is concerned, I see on the agenda, we're gonna talk about the aquacross stuff, right?
It's on the agenda.
Yeah. Talked with Smitty. I will say this is kind of a cool thing. March 11th parade, we're going to have a boat from.
He's talking about St. Patrick's in Michigan City.
We have a team coming from LaPorte, Huron in Michigan, that has agreed to be in that parade. We're also pursuing for the LaPorte parade and the Michigan City 4th of July parade.
So we'll have a boat, maybe all three.
Total 4th of July.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And they've agreed to do that. So the communication continues to go, during this off season. They're chomping at the bit just as much as we are. And sometimes you find yourself doing this, for the most part, and the phone rings a lot.
Good.
Follow up on the South Shore note I sent you yesterday.
Yes? Really?
Did you?
No.
Oh,
No, but I'll connect with you.
okay.
And Linda's also got me on another project.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Good deal. Thanks, Rick. So that moves into Brett. LaPorte.
All right, keep things a little shorter. We went over a year-long review at the last meeting. But coming up for Civic, we just got off a great month. We have one of the top tribute bands in the country coming here on February 10th. The Ted Band out of Pittsburgh, Ohio, or Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sorry, I'm moving them for a second. Outstanding. We had a lot of people that attended that night, told us if you closed your eyes, you would have swore you were at a Pearl Jam concert. Some people came up to us and told us they kept waiting for the lip sync to be off because they thought they were singing and playing to an actual track. So we were quite ecstatic about that. Continue to get great reviews on the Civic Concert Series. We have a great one coming up March 10th, Friday, March 10th. Doors open at 6. Concert starts at 7. The first opening band is called the Classic Rock Experience. They play everything from Queen to Styx to Journey, Led Zeppelin. It's just a smorgasbord of great hits from the 70s and 80s metal bands. And they're going to open for a Van Halen tribute called Jump that embodies the David Lee Roth early years of Van Halen. They put on the entire show. The guys, just as athletic as David Lee Roth was in his heyday. They show him doing the jump splits and all those type of things. It's a very entertaining show. They sound just like them. We have a video of the Jump tribute group playing the song Panama on our Facebook page. Where Van Halen. So a lot of people complain about the tribute band avenue that we're carrying on at Civic right now. For the dollar spent, it's the best way to go. We're a smaller venue, 2,100 to 3,000, depending on how we set up the facility. But to bring in a larger name band, we'd have to charge $200 or $300 a ticket just to break even if we were lucky. And those would be your smaller names. So just keep that in mind and help support music in our community. And as we draw more people to the facility, we'll try to bring in bigger acts. But you have to walk before you can run. April, we'll have a tribute Styx, Grand Illusion. Another great one with local regional favorite Naughty opening for them. That's going to be on Saturday, April 15th. And then the next music act would be May 20th. It's a Queen tribute out of the state of California. They were actually the inaugural rock band, one of the inaugural rock bands elected into the California Rock Hall of Fame. They were put together by a national marketing and ad agency out in California to cover Queen music. They've been doing it now, I think, for like 16 years. They're outstanding. They're our biggest show yet. That's going to be May 20th. We have hometown boy from LaPorte coming in to open for them too, Mike Barthel and the boys. He just released a video, My Hometown. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, check it out. It's a wonderful video, sounds great. Some of it was filmed actually inside the Civic. So I don't know, many of you from the LaPorte area may have noticed ad. Mr. Barthel taught at the high school and coached, but it's a great song. Going to be a great day on May 20th. Outside of those events, we do have the call-out. Kiwanis just did their call-out for the 4th of July parade. You know, as Rick mentioned, the parades are coming up and getting close together. Kiwanis Club, once again, is heading that up. Joy Don Ziegler are pretty involved, too. He's part of the Kiwanis Club and the planning committee. We're always looking for help and volunteers to help make that the best yet. I know the focus this year is trying to get the float count back up, from what I understood at the meeting. So anyone interested, please contact the Kiwanis Club to help with that. Let's see here, we have the circus re-signed for the Civic. It's not going to be, obviously, it's normally in February. They signed for May 15th and 16th this year. They'll be coming back to Cardin Circus, and that's a lot of what we have going on. We also have continuous meetings on the upcoming renovation project for the Civic Auditorium. We have another one today with the general contractor, Schneider Electric. Everything's full steam ahead with that. We'll be closing down June 11th. Reopening hopefully August 25th, and it's going to be a very busy summer for us over there. All the seats are coming out, new ones are coming in. And one thing I wanted to share too, that I sent an email to Jack and the mayor and Mark Schreiber on, is we were blessed with some good news with the NIBC tourney. A lot of times we struggle to get bodies in for the Thursday and Friday games because they're during school hours. With the way the holidays are falling this year, LaPorte Community Schools released their calendar for the 23-24 year. They will be out of school that entire first week of January because of the way Christmas lands.
Good.
So Thursday and Friday just got a lot.
I agree, Brett. That's a good move. In fact, I had spoken with Jack about talking to
Jack talked about that.
Yeah, let's get that cleared up for those students.
Mountains, we got lucky on this.
Well, you can move, maybe not a mountain, but a really big hill. You know that we could move, but that's great. That's gonna make a big
I think
difference.
it's gonna really prove big for us.
Yeah.
And we're so excited.
I'm really happy to hear that.
I think that we're still working on a longer term contract. We know they're committed to coming back in 24, but once that happens, we have talked about maybe upgrading some of our facility uses, like scoreboards and stuff like that, but we want a longer term contract before we dive into that. But we're real excited. The numbers are looking good from the 2023 event, and can't wait to see what
That's gonna grow once it really gets out, because I'm still hearing people say that they didn't know about it. And so, but that's just natural.
Problem too, and actually we've been engaged with doing a lot on trying to expand our marketing.
Let's blame it on them, not on us.
No, it's not that anybody's not doing it. It's just that some people don't access the sources that are out there for the information.
Many things with the events we have, and we still have that pocket of people that we can reach.
Right.
Even people that are on Facebook, hey, we never saw this.
So that's gonna be, that's gonna be.
Every time I open my page, I'm seeing it 15 times.
That's gonna be your word of mouth, and that's what I'm speaking to, is the word of mouth is gonna help fill those gaps where people aren't accessing those social media or other media outlets.
And we're gonna work on an email marketing campaign too for events we have at the Civic Auditorium that we're in the beginning stages of doing and creating, but we think it's gonna really help us not only get out our events that are Civic sponsored, but events held at the Civic as well. We're gonna have 2 or 3 different email lists that'll go out, and we think that might really help. I'm a member of a couple different groups from like the Morris and going up to the Acorn, and their marketing campaign for the events they bring in, come to my email box, once a month or every other week, is pretty impressive. So we took some of that stuff and met with them, and we think we have some pretty good ideas going forward. Not to put you on the spot.
All right, that's all right.
That's all right, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I already sent the mayor a note when I got your email, and I let him know that the funding for your position, before I recommend it to this group, is gonna be directly dependent on seeing a pep band that week up in those bleachers from LaPorte High School. So it's on the record. I don't want no excuses. We've had it. We're moving on.
Slow down, slow down.
Yeah. Pep, you guys heard it. The high school pep band's gonna be sitting right up in those bleachers for
All
it.
right.
So anyway, I think you're gonna do that.
FMEC, just the Fairgrounds Management and Events Corporation, just a quick little recap. We had a meeting and we're still working on some of the infrastructure improvements on the grounds. We've made a lot of headway. We've spent quite a few dollars upgrading the facility, and it's really going to be one of the best there is as far as providing all the utility requirements for any event going on out there. Right now we're in the process of getting the bleachers upgraded and finalized, and doing some improvements on the campground, because that campground site out there is a big attraction to people coming in. They can camp and just hang out at the events that we have there. So that's on the infrastructure side. But then also on the event side, Joy has a potential major event that she's working on to have out there. We can't reveal it at this time, but she is working on that. So soon we are hopeful to tell you that we have a major event coming to the fairgrounds. And if any of you have not been out there recently, go out and just take a look at it, talk to Joy and set something up to go see it, and she can go over the improvements that have been made with you, just so that you're comfortable with knowing what we're doing with those county dollars. We are aiming to get to the point where we will be self-sufficient, and that's dependent on getting those major events in here. So that's all I have.
Yeah, and I'm done too, Pat, because Angie's not here, so it's back to you.
Do we have any unfinished business at this time? If not, I'm going to turn over the next section to our trustworthy. Mike, we're going to take that from you when you come through the door.
Let Doug hold it.
No, Doug's not good either. Doug goes, those two, we got to get theirs when they come in the door. Okay. I'm sorry. Nelson, our attorney, is going to talk to us about our contract.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, I reviewed the Aqua X contract this reporting period this month after Jack asked me to. The contract is identical to the ones in years past. I'm comfortable with the legal language in it. I talked to Jack. As long as the CBB is okay with the deliverables, then I have no problem recommending it. Jack affirmed that the deliverables are good. But from a legal standpoint, again, it's the same contract. I have no problem recommending it. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So it's good to go.
And the cost is the same, right? We didn't have any.
Correct, yes, correct.
That's good. If it went down, we'd be happy with that, but that's okay too.
If it stays the same and it's a new year,
that's kind of like not going down. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so with that, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the contract with Aquex 2023, Michigan City and LaPorte events.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Stacy Benning and a second by Doug Waters. Any question or discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Adam Konechny. Becky Greenlaw.
Aye.
Laura Kren.
Aye.
Pat Harris.
Aye.
Stacy Benning.
Aye.
Mike Sykes.
Aye.
Doug Waters.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, do we have any board comments at this time? I always have a comment, so I'm going to just jump in here. We just are completing the February Black History Month committee. Had activities throughout the month, and we're gonna celebrate on Saturday with the finale for the month. It's in March, but it's still the finale for February with the Wild Wild West dinner dance. And we're going to do a special tribute to the Forgotten Black Cowboys, featuring basically Bass Reeves. So they're doing a lot of chronicles on him this week. this month. They've done a lot, so I think there's still one tomorrow night if you want to see that. Very, very effective and emotional. Bass Reeves was a U.S. Marshal, and he was black. And in 1875, which is 10 years after slavery was abolished, he was deputized as a U.S. Marshal by, I forget the judge's name, I think it's Judge Parker, because he was really good at capturing these really bad guys. And so we're going to do a special tribute to him, and also Stagecoach Mary Fields. If you just, I'm giving you those names in case you just want to Google it and look at it. It's a lot of history that, you know, is not really known, but we're going to do a little celebration. We're going to all dress up in our giddy-ups, and we're going to have a cowboy dinner. Minus the steak, of course. No, just kidding. But it's going to be a good time, and I'm going to encourage you all to come out. It's Saturday night, 6:30 at the DAV here in Michigan City.
On Ohio Street?
On Ohio Street, yes. So with that, anybody else have anything they want to share? If not, it's been a great meeting, great month. Have a great month coming up, and we will see you on March 28th, 2023 at Blue Chip. And we're going to start at 8 o'clock, but you will get the official notification on all of that. Okay?
Great meeting. Thanks, everybody.
Meeting's adjourned.
Hey, Amy, can you and Linda